Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Reincarnated as a Podcaster. I am your host today, the Ed Boy, like I was last week. Here with the boys -1, the broskies.
-1. We got 3 here. Oh, hi, chopped liver.
Well, he's also a broski. He's just here on occasion. So I'm saying it's the broskies
It's almost like every time.
Yeah, at this point, I'm like what I see like an episode come out.
We're gonna go to a movie.
Just come.
We're just like, okay, I go a movie too.
That's why. So we're just missing the Bob. We're missing the Robert.
That's true. That's true.
The Roberto.
He died.
Roberto.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
I'm glad he gave us his house as well.
He just said make sure we don't lock the cats in.
And today, we are talking about one of the greatest series ever that I haven't fully watched.
Willy Wonderland?
No, Jojo.
Jojo. So I want to talk about seasons, probably 1, 2, maybe 3.
We're talking about Jojo Rabbit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, totally.
Did you watch Jojo Rabbit?
Very
Watched
funny.
at least one trailer.
It's dark.
Oh, does it get dark?
Unsuspectingly.
It sounds.
It's
I
like-
mean, makes sense.
But okay, but the memes aside.
Okay, no more memes. So Jojo Swan, the singer, she's
I don't know what that is.
Type in
Do you
Jojo, she
remember-
pops up first for some goddamn reason.
Oh, I didn't know there's another name. Do you remember?
Something
Do you remember seeing? I think it was just Jojo. She was like
Yeah, that's her name.
early 2000s.
That girl?
I don't know.
This chick.
No,
I've
it's
never seen
different.
this lady in
Oh.
my entire
I think it was
life.
different.
She stole Jojo.
That might be your Google algorithm.
No.
I
Well-
don't have that issue.
Well, I don't have it normally, but I remember when I first looked up Jojo, it's like part of it. There's also a Jojo singer.
That's what I was referring to.
Yeah, they got Jojo Swan. There's a lot of JoJo stuff. That's not our
Pretty.
boys JoJo.
It's not a really complex name. I can see why.
Yeah, but it's one of those names. It's very unusual.
Jojo.
JoJo.
So we're going to talk about the wonders of the first 2 seasons of JoJo's Bizarre Adventures.
So what seasons are we talking
So it'd be
I think he's referring to parts
Phantom.
1 and 2.
Phantom Blood and Battle Tendency.
Yeah.
Okay,
So parts 1 and 2.
fuck, really?
1, 2. I guess we could also talk about Stardust Crusaders.
Part 3.
Because I watched Pride
Forever ago.
Forever ago.
Because I want to just like basically split it in half.
Okay, so we're gonna do a 2-parter with this bitch. We should probably talk about this before, but
We
well.
are. Yeah.
Okay.
Just because
That's why we're
there'll
doing
be
it right
somebody
now.
special for the next one.
okay,
Just because
Oh.
he's got work today.
that
So.
makes sense.
So
Okay,
he can't come talk about JoJo.
okay, so
Anyway, so
Jojo.
we might as well just talk about the background of how we got into JoJo and the lovely AX.
Oh
JoJo convention.
yeah, convention.
Yeah.
Oh,
The JoJo panel.
Because
That AX.
so what panels did we were sitting for Promare?
but we're sitting in it.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
to watch premiere. And
So we're
for
like,
Trigger,
okay,
yeah.
we might as well sit through like
I think we sat through like
4 panels.
Viz Media. I
Yeah.
Who
think.
was the one we sat?
It was
I think
Viz
I think it was
Media.
Viz.
Then it was Promise Neverland.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
because we also wanted to watch that. I forgot. That was
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of cool.
And then it was JoJo.
Then it was JoJo. But they like tried to kick us out for Promise Neverland because they wanted to like, because they were expecting tons of people for Promise Neverland, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then they didn't
They
get it.
didn't get it
And
at all.
they're like, oh, okay, you
Get
can
back
sit
there.
back down. They're like, fuck you too.
I remember that.
And like, I remember all the people were pissed off. Were like, we want our JoJo
And
panel.
like, why the fuck are
I'm
these
like-
guys here for JoJo?
And I'm like, I've heard of it, but every time I saw it, I was picturing it was just buff. I pictured
like-
like buff yaoi dudes because
That's what I thought. Well,
Okay, so
yeah.
well, I knew of this beforehand,
Okay.
before that, because Eric's family was watching it
Oh
at some
really?
point in their house. Yeah.
really.
Oh.
And they were binging through it.
Okay.
Yeah, like I think it was his sister or brother. I don't know. Someone was
Yeah.
binging it at their house. This is forever ago.
Makes sense.
And I remember I'm like, this is a funky looking show, and it just went to the back of my mind.
Yeah.
And then, like, this is bizarre. This is the name states.
Adventures.
Yeah. And I'm just And then later on, like as I saw more of it, I'm like, this is like I get some Fist of the North Star vibes because this is the vibes I'm coming off of. And then I always knew there's a shit ton of people that love this show. And I'm just like, because of it's just different. It's just something else,
Because in my mind, it looked like almost a yaoi, because it's just all dudes that were buff, and they have the yaoi hands, and the poses, and they look pretty sexy.
Big his hands are.
So I was just like, oh, this show is probably not for me. And then my other thought would have been is Dragon Ball Z, which
I guess, but no.
the first 2 seasons, well, I'd say the third season where they just kind of
every episode is a half a battle.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, we're gonna die. Half a battle, we're gonna die again. Finish the battle. And you're like, oh, okay. But I feel like anyway, just like talking about the panel.
Yeah,
So we sat through all that to watch Promare. But the people for JoJo,
it was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
It was so loud.
It was an experience, dude.
There was a whole lot of things going on. There was that dude in front of us that was freaking out. There was also a lady that was maybe drunk in front of us.
Of course.
That was also
That sounded like a normal lady.
Yeah, that was interesting when she was like, yeah, that was weird. But just like you just freaked out at for good reasons, I found out.
I think it was
that when they announced
Golden Wind.
Yeah, it's when they announced Golden Wind.
Yeah. Because we've sat through one panel. Why is something updated? Okay.
Go away.
So we sat through one panel, sat through it.
Yeah.
And then the first time I remember hearing it was we were sitting for another panel, and it was Jojo was on at the time. And
you could hear
it from outside the door, and people just screaming, and you're like, someone dying in there? And I'm like, I'm worried for the safety of these people. And then I think it was the next year, that's when we ended up saying it. And it was just like, okay, you know what? These people are just going crazy. Like, they're throwing their fists, there's fucking poses randomly going on. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, you know what? I think we should watch season 1.
It is then that Forrest realized, these are my people.
I didn't realize that I needed crazy people in my life.
This is exactly what I needed. Yeah, we went back to the hotel and then watched. And that's when we found out it's like 1 billion episodes.
Oh, I thought it was.
Oh, I knew it was long.
I thought it was like 24 episodes, and then I found out like every season's like 48 or 40.
36
like,
to 48 episodes.
And I also didn't know that there was like 5 seasons. So yeah, now 6 seasons currently.
Because what I pictured was like 12 to 24 a season. It's been out for 5 seasons. I'm like, that's bearable. 36 to 48, I'm like, fuck, when am I going to get time to watch this? I know we sat through season 1 and part of season 2, or just season 1?
We got to season 2. Because, we got to season 2 because that's like AC/DC shit.
Yeah. Because I remember saying through season 1, looking back at it, it's a great season. Like, it's really funny. I think it's like one of the most different ones.
Mm.
Yeah.
Season 1 just really is.
Because it's like weirdly like here is Dracula's like backstory almost. It kind of starts off with.
Yeah. I feel like, season 1 I've always heard is like one of the rougher ones to start off on because it doesn't have everything that eventually makes JoJo.
Yeah, well, it felt almost like just a normal story about a guy just with a rival.
Yeah, and the little like tidbits of ridiculousness and all this stuff and just bigness, right?
Oh yeah.
Do you think it was always supposed to be this ridiculous? Or did you think he slowly just crept into that?
I feel like it might have been slowly, and it was.
I feel like season 1 was pretty. There's some weird stuff.
Well, there's some fucked up stuff too. Remember, like when he's burning the dog alive.
That was pretty weird. I really like the sword, like the pluck and luck. You remember?
Oh
that?
yeah. There's something else with like his girlfriend. I can't remember. It was probably a fucked up scene.
I don't remember. Doesn't like Dio make out with his girlfriend?
That's what it is. It was like a forced makeout or something.
Well, it's like that. It does have that weird like drama feel to it at the beginning, and with like a tad of like the extreme.
Yes.
Of just like the ridiculous over the topness.
Mm-hmm.
And then it does. I feel like it does ramp up over time. It starts just pulling from all these different places and stuff like that. And then obviously, you factor in Araki Sensei's just obvious his love for music, especially
He likes
80s
music.
music.
I couldn't tell by the names of all these people.
And you start seeing the seeds of all these things just going in there.
I do like it was zero shits given. He's like, what am I gonna name this? Speedwagon. Should I change it so it's not copyrighted? No.
I remember he names the villain Dio. I mean,
but to me, in my mind, it's like in high school or something. It's like, yeah, you can copy my work, just change the name.
Yeah.
He's like, he just copies it one for one and puts it in, and both of you get fucked.
And obviously, it becomes infinitely more excessive the further along we go.
I do say the later seasons they do.
It gets even crazy.
They do
The
slightly
names.
change the
Well,
names though.
Do they in the actual
In the-
dialogue? Not in the subs.
In the subs,
They definitely change it in the subs.
or you mean dubs or subs?
In the subtitles, they have different names.
Yeah.
But in the original Japanese dub, I think the names are the same.
I don't remember
Well,
I
because-
went back and forth between dub and sub of it, and in the dub, what was the subtitle is what they said. I don't remember what they said.
And that's what he
in the
means.
sub.
That's what he means. So like when you're
Yeah.
when you're watching the show, right,
Yeah.
and you listen to it,
They say,
Yeah.
and they'll
Japanese.
say Speedwagon or whatever,
yeah,
right?
they'll say speed.
But
Yeah.
the
Red Hot
subtitle,
Chili
the subtitle does not say that.
Yes, but I'm saying in the
It
English.
says like a Mexican knockoff.
Yeah. But the English dub,
Yeah.
they change it too in the English dub.
Yeah.
So
That's right. So it matches because
Yeah.
they don't want to deal with.
Yeah.
I just don't
Whatever,
remember with the Japanese sub. At that point, my brain's like
I'm
kind
pretty
of
sure
just reading.
they say that. Well, they don't say it in English. They say it in
Well, they say it in
you know what
Like,
I mean.
how Japan takes over English words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it actually might skirt around copyright laws
Like slightly enough.
because it's not bite the dust.
Yeah.
It's bite the dustle.
Yeah.
Like
Bite the dustle.
Because I think season 1 and 2 were the only ones where, in my mind, I can remember that it was 1-for-1, even in the dub. It was like, obviously, Dio, Speedwagon.
Because it doesn't get any like wilder than that. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah,
Dio's
yeah,
such
AC/DC.
I remember when you went, it's just AC/DC, but fucked up spelling. I'm like, what?
I mean, you can name someone Speedwagon, right? And I don't think that's as crazy as actually putting REO Speedwagon.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what does it. It's more like Dio. Dio's just a standard name. It doesn't necessarily.
But when you feel like
Ronnie J.
AC/DC.
Dio, you know?
Put like 3 S's in there, I guess.
I don't remember how they spelled it,
It
but
was
it was
like ESSI. It made no sense.
it would have spelled how you would say, like, how you would spell, like, AC and then
Oh.
DC. Like, if you used it as, like.
So spell it
put
phonetically.
Yeah.
almost.
I don't
Yeah.
even. It's like if you could.
Yeah, like a vowel in there somewhere.
Yeah,
so
somehow.
you make it
And
real.
it somehow looks like Latin. Is the way I look at it. It just has a Latin name in it. He says it's just ACDC spelled fucked up. I'm like, what the fuck?
'Cause I'm trying to remember because, let's see, it's been 2 years, 3 years since we've seen Urban AX. So that's why I'm trying to grab from my brain all the fucking
memory
JoJo.
palace.
'Cause-
Yeah.
Go ahead if you have anything.
Oh, I was talking about like the ridiculous stuff in like part 2, like with the weird fucking ball shit. I remember watching that in the hotel room where they're like in the fucking Coliseum or the fucking racetrack.
Oh, okay.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Like, and maybe they're chasing each other. I don't even understand. To this day,
I
You
feel,
don't
I,
need
I,
to
I feel like it's a lot of just JoJo.
yeah.
It's because I always feel like it's always the meme, right? That you could tell someone a spoiler from any season and it wouldn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Because there's without context, it's just what?
Oh, remember when you finished season 4 and we were explaining it on like what we watched this season?
Yeah, that made no fucking
And
sense.
Bob's sitting there is like, baby eats poop, his own poop. What are you
That was
talking
part
about?
3. That was
part
weird as
3.
hell.
But that's the thing. It's like I feel like season 1, JoJo is very linear.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
nothing that there's crazy stuff, but there's nothing that makes it so you could be like, oh, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. You're just like, oh, this is interesting.
I wonder if part 1 is Araki like I'm getting my foot in the door.
Yeah, so it's one of the first things.
And the moment my foot's in the door and I'm free, let's go.
I do feel like part one's where Dio gets his vampire powers. He gets the mask. Yeah. And I feel like he took tidbits of Dracula and
of course.
Like you get
that
Harold
whole Transylvania kind of to it.
Because you also have like Jojo, who's almost like Van Helsing almost at that point, where he's just killing him because
Joseph.
Yeah. Because he's causing trouble.
But I feel like JoJo's Bizarre Adventures just in general always pulls from so many different like things and genres, and even like at the insanity that it is. There's a little mixture of like that pulp adventure in there as well, that style, a little bit of like all these just like old fashioned like literary styles, just kind of like meshed in there with this excess and music references.
Yeah, I think it's just literally everything he likes.
Yeah.
Like, even where it takes place is like, he likes Italy, so it's in Italy.
He likes The Godfather.
So that's we're doing that this season.
I feel like basically what it is he goes, he's like, it's like when you go to the like Fast and Furious, and they're like, where should we film this time? France. We haven't been there yet. I want a vacation.
Sorry, I need to go get inspiration from my holiday.
That's pretty
I'm
much.
gonna head to England for like 5 weeks.
He's like, I'm gonna write it all down, and then.
Because
all right.
I always feel like what this is. It's this man just taking everything he loves and putting it in this fun package.
But it does it so well because there's like people who do that already that grab like, oh, this is my favorite stuff, and I jam it in and it feels cluttered. Or maybe they went too serious. I think JoJo started serious and then just veered a hard right to just batshit insane. And it did it without almost batting an eye and not saying, hey, I'm changing this up. It's just like, fuck it, we changed it. You're like, you're going to like it even more now.
I really liked it. It really felt like diverse. Like it wasn't just like, oh, it's just a bunch of,
dudes beating each other up.
And like this dude's for whatever reason's from France. Yeah. And he has whatever crazy goddamn powers he has, and it's all tarot card based for whatever reason. And then halfway through the series, they're like, "We're not tarot cards. We're doing Egyptian gods now." So,
yeah.
And then later on, it's just fuck it.
And like just music, there's
Everyone
always
has something.
Everybody's from music.
Yep. But it's like going back to like first season 2. It's interesting to see the dynamic between where Dio picks up just the hatred of the full JoJo lineage, because it's just like, they meet. They're two bro dudes that don't get along because one wants to be more bro. Part 1. Yeah. Because they're like teenagers in the first part.
Yeah. I think everybody shows like 15.
Well, I think because I remember in season 1, it takes place where they're like teenagers. And then they go on the boat. They get older because like time goes by, and that's when he gets his vampire powers.
When they pick him up in the coffin.
No.
When he's in the
remember when they try to kill each other towards like the mid of the season?
I think he's when his wife's pregnant.
Yeah. That because it starts off when he's late teens, and then he goes to 18, 19 maybe, and that's where like I feel like all the JoJos have just become that age at that point.
Part 5, he's 15. He's 15.
Well, I think in part 4, he's also like 16.
7.
Is he? I
know Jotaro was 17.
Okay.
I don't know about Josuke.
Some really buff teenagers,
man. Yeah. It's funny. It's like it's a good scale. It's like buff, a little bit buffer, super buff, a little less buff, more Italian buff,
more Italian buff. Italian is a subclass of buff. Italian.
Have you seen buffer?
It's a different type of buff.
Have you seen?
It's your winemaking.
Have you seen Jersey Shore? That's Italian buff.
I think that I don't know about that.
With that Guido look.
I don't know.
I'm Italian. I understand.
He's not Italian American. It's different. He's got like spaghetti blood over there. They're built different. I feel like Italian people have to be buffer than. He's also 15.
Yeah.
He just looks more normal like a 15-year-old.
Oh, he does.
Even though he's like Jotaro is like, why the fuck are you so big?
He's like 12 feet tall.
He's like 12 feet tall. He's like half Japanese, I guess, half English, half American.
Yeah.
Joseph was raised in America, but I think he's fully English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does work.
I think that's how it works.
And then the whole family lineage thing's all fucked.
It gets even more fucked up, dude. Holy shit. I tried looking at a family tree.
Yeah.
It just gets crazier.
I remember
boy.
it's like he had multiple kids and then like shit happened.
Yeah,
You're like,
because each part is just like a different descendant, right?
Yeah.
And it's just a different descendant of Joseph Joestar.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, kind of.
I know. Yeah, that's
that's next podcast.
Yeah.
It gets fucked up.
But it makes a left turn really hard, and you're like, "What?"
Yeah.
Is their family tree like the Fate timeline? It's just absolutely ridiculous.
Yes.
And yes, and at a certain point, there's like it's beyond what the animes are, but there's like timeline divergences. And
Here, I'll give you a little spoiler. You know why his hair is blonde?
Which one?
The fifth one.
Yeah. Okay.
Because he married Saber.
Exactly.
That's how the Fate timeline goes with the Jojo family tree. One in the
It
same.
goes directly into it somehow. It's crazy.
And on this day, Eddie realized these are my people.
Jojo and Fate. I will be back.
There's just so much of it. He's also been writing it since I think the part 1 came out. In,
we're on what, part 8 now?
I think he's starting part 9.
Yeah.
I think part 8's finished.
Jojo manga.
Yeah, I think it's like on part 9, right? Didn't he? So this
1987
is
January 1st.
Yeah. This is just hearsay to me. Is it just going to 10? Isn't that like what?
I don't know.
Allegedly, it was supposed to just go into like part 10.
The manga.
Yeah,
it's definitely not about. It's definitely diverged from the normal timeline. I don't know what his plan is because I would think if it was going to be that, it would be linear with their children. Children's children, but it's completely
well, maybe not. Maybe this is just what he has.
He just wants to be done with it.
I don't know. I don't know if that's true. It's probably not.
I don't know what number he says. He says this is in 2001 of August. He says now after a successful run for years, the story arc is oh no, it's an arc. Never mind.
Yeah, it might be just talking about.
That's just
obviously the manga.
I mean, I thought that's what I heard, but maybe not. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe he's just gonna keep on going.
It's 30 years he's been writing this.
Well, I think the major issue for him, continuing, is unless it goes into the future, it's very it's only a 10-year gap between everybody.
Well, I think that's why he went into that. I mean, obviously this is beyond anything we've watched, and I have no idea, but it goes into timeline divergences and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like part, I think 7, 8, and 9 is like about a goddamn carnival or some dumb shit. I don't even know what it is. Like Jojo Land, and it's like a fucking island. It's weird. I looked up, I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Is it like the volleyball island from Dead or
Alive?
I wonder if as he's doing this, I wonder if it's like you ever think like a exponential equation, that it can never reach the limit, right? It just goes up. So that's what it is. That's how the timeline works. Like each one's a step, and eventually each story's only like days apart.
It's happening. These children are all born at once. It's crazy.
No matter what, it just cannot hit the modern day.
They made it from Italy to the U.S. in one day, killed 20,000 people, and saw all the exhibits in the same day.
Sounds about right.
It's like, holy shit.
I don't even know where they're at in the timeline. I think it's like, I think she is about your guys' age currently. I think that's how it works.
Interesting.
I think that's how it works. Because
so she's like first
was 99.
Yes.
So if that's 10 years after.
Yeah. So she'd be 2009-ish.
Somewhere around there, I believe.
Interesting.
So yeah, two more generations, and then we're caught up, and then then we do the back turn.
Yeah.
No, then we do multiverse. Splits.
Talking about that, Eddie. I have homework for you.
Oh,
since you're the reading man, I know you like reading. I need you. There's a JoJo novel.
Okay.
I need you to read it. It's titled George Joestar.
George.
So George Joestar is the father of Joseph Joestar.
Okay, it's like the beginning.
No. This is Jonathan's son.
Okay.
Joseph's dad.
Oh, okay.
Because Jonathan is Joseph's grandfather.
Oh yeah, okay.
So this is their dad. And it is, from what I understand, I've read the quick wiki summary, it makes no fucking sense.
Oh, joyous.
It's like,
that's his.
I can't even tell you, dude. It's like you will actually. I want you to try to write an essay and try to describe it to me. I think that would be a fun.
I want a 9-page essay, double spaced,
a dissertation.
I looked at
plotting this out.
And how did he even come up with this? I think he wrote it. I hope he wrote it. I have no idea how he wrote it because it makes no fucking sense.
Maybe it does.
I mean,
you just gotta have the right mindset.
You gotta think like Eddie.
Same twisted logic.
I will buy you this book if you read it.
I'll fucking read it, dude.
Okay, I'm buying this book. I'll buy you a nice leather-bound book.
I mean, you don't have to, but I'll fucking read it. I'll gladly read it. I read weird shit, so.
I can't imagine it's long.
No, it can't be that long.
I doubt it. Well, it'd probably be like a normal visual novel. Yeah, light novel.
It's only like 300 pages.
Yeah, that's easy sitting.
Yeah, it's
about 2 years, I think, would take me.
It's like my dad. My dad will be like, "Yeah, I'm reading a book," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah, it's like a 300, 200 page book. I've been reading it for the past 3 weeks." I'm like, "Oh, I've read 7 of those in the past week."
Oh wow. It's a speed read.
At that point, you're just looking at the page. You're like, finished. Wipe
them off. I'm done with them. I don't even ever look at them again.
I picture Eddie. You got a strip club and you do this with money. That's how he reads his book. He's like,
just prints them off. Do some flashcards. I'm learning so much right now.
And I don't even think I read them that fast. I just don't stop.
Just do it for 12 hours straight.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I feel like I read a decent speed.
Pages in 1 week times 7 books.
Yeah.
You have anything else to add?
About what? About reading?
Reading or JoJo?
Oh, about JoJo? Tons of stuff.
All right. I mean, if we're only talking 1 to 2.
We talk about 3.
We talk about 3
because
3 is probably the best out of 1 and 2.
Okay. Where are the stands introduced?
Stands are introduced in 3.
That's why I think we're
kind of so that's the one where everyone says this is where it gets hyped.
This is where it gets good.
This is where it goes from season 1 and 2. Serious, Haman becomes.
Haman's also pretty fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, Haman's their first it's like their Dragon Ball powers where they're starting to get their power level 2000. With Haman.
Okay. They're not quite at Oh, it's over 9,000. Yeah. No.
Then with the stands.
That's when it gets.
And the stands are
just batshit crazy.
I didn't even know these things could exist.
Never mind. There's a tangent. I was gonna say, but continue.
So how does I don't remember how the first stand becomes a
stand. Oh, that's in part 4 when they talk about that. Part 5 actually is when they talk about the origin of the stand.
But when he just have the stand in the beginning and no one
was in jail? You remember that? He was Jotaro goes to jail.
So Jotaro is the delinquent.
Yeah, so he's in jail.
Okay.
And his mom comes and picks him up.
Yeah.
And he's like, please take him. He won't leave.
Yep.
He's just staying in there. And then so they go in there and he has this a bunch of random shit in there. He's like, where are you getting all this stuff? He's like, the ghosts give it to me.
Yeah.
What does it mean? And he takes the police officer's gun. He's like, watch this. Tries to blow his brains out. For what reason? Just stops in midair. No one can see it. And they're like, what do I do with this? So his mom goes and gets
his father.
Gets Joseph.
Yep.
His grandfather.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then he's like, I'll figure this out. So him and a dude from Egypt go and pick him up. He's just there for just right now.
Yeah.
And he's there, and he's like, you have a stand. He's like, that's what it is. It's a stand. And then they fight, and then he gets out of jail. And then his mom also has a stand, but she's not worthy of a stand.
She doesn't also know she has.
She doesn't have a stand, so she's just dying.
Yeah.
And Joseph has the power to see into the present, the future, everything.
Yeah. But he has to have a camera.
Yeah, and he has to smash it.
Yeah, like legit, he just punches it.
And he uses
takes one picture, and then it blows up.
And he has Purple Hermit. He has the Hermit card. Yeah. He has Star Platinum. It's his card.
Yeah.
Cool. So there's cards.
Yeah, so it's tarot cards.
Oh, okay.
This is where the tarot cards start.
All right.
So he has Star Platinum. That's
not a tarot card.
It's Platinum. What is it? The stars? The stars.
Okay. That's what
stars.
I'm like, that's not a card.
It's Star Platinum.
Yeah.
It's the stars. And he has Hermit Purple, which is the Hermit card.
Okay, that one makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Sorry, keep going.
And then,
I'm just looking up.
Weirdly enough, for whatever reason, we found this out while watching it. Dio, who has the World card.
Okay.
He also, for whatever reason, has the power of Purple Hermit, but just better because he doesn't have to smash cameras. And it shows it in one scene, and it never explains it why he has
it. And then it goes away.
And it goes away forever.
So he has that one.
Yeah, Zawanda. Yeah. He has that, which is pretty OP. Are we just spoiling?
Is that the one that stops time?
Yes, this is the one that stops.
Okay.
time.
Okay.
So, and then they, on their adventures from Japan, they go from I think they go to Singapore to India to Pakistan, then across Egypt, underwater for a while. They pick up these random people.
They pick up so many. So you start off with the two Josephs.
Jojo and Jojo.
And then
Jojo and Jojo Senior.
And then it's Mohammed Abdul.
Yeah, that was Mohammed Abdul.
Because he had the fire bird.
He had what's the fucking Phoenix. He has a what's his
Phoenix a card?
It's not a card.
Stan Magician's Red, so it's Magician's card.
Oh, the Magician. Okay.
What is he has Chariot? That's what
Golden Chariot.
No, Golden Chariot.
Oh, sorry.
Olaf has the Chariot.
Yes.
I think it's just the Chariot. You're thinking Golden.
That's sorry, that season's just so good in my head.
It's so good. But and then what is the other guy? He has Hierophant. So those are all the ones. Those are all the good guys.
Hierophant.
And then all the other cards are bad guys.
They're all bad guys. So yeah, because it's what 4 good guys or 5?
4 good
Who's got the tower? Tower's best card. What was my favorite card?
Give me a second. For some reason, they're not in a good order.
I'm digging it deep into my memory palace right now, trying to pull out what actually happened. Because it's also bad. Because they go to fucking 5 different countries.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and this is the first time you meet a dog that is that brought in by a helicopter or airplane.
Helicopter dropped this dog in.
Yeah, and they're like, be careful with him. So he has a stand.
Behold dog.
He's a Boston Terrier too. He's like a little small fucking dog.
Behold dog.
But he has the full card. Sorry.
And he can also talk.
Yeah.
Oh, he at least has an inner dialogue.
Yeah.
But I think he might actually scream, "The fool!" I don't know if it's just in his head, but he always says it.
And they all have, obviously special attacks.
Yeah.
Like Emerald Splash from
Hierophant.
Yeah. Guys are trying to find this stupid thing.
Is it Aerophant? I don't know.
It's
Jean Pierre Polnareff. He's the Silver Chariot. Silver Chariot.
Yeah, not Golden Chariot. I thought it was just a chariot.
It's a fool. Sorry, give me a second. I'm trying to find the stupid. Which one was I looking for?
I was just saying the tower. I like that card. That's what I'm just saying. So I don't know.
I know the sun was dumb.
Oh.
The sun was so they're in the desert. This is actually when the dog gets introduced.
Yeah.
So they're in the desert, and for whatever reason, why is the sun real big? And it starts cooking them alive, and they're all dying. And they're like, wait a minute. And they throw a rock at this thing, and it bounces off. Long story short, dude was just sitting in a glass box in the middle of the desert. They just shoot him, and he dies immediately.
Dude,
it was dumb as shit.
I remember it was bam, episode over.
He's like, yeah, after he figured out his power, he's like, this dude's dumb as hell.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, Simon.
But so this is pretty discombobulated. Trying to actually remember all this. What's your favorite part of the season?
I mean, it's just this show, right?
Yeah,
that's just how it is.
Yeah. That is how the show is.
I think JoJo's just one of those shows that the more you talk about it, the weirder it gets. Or the point is, it's you just realize that you love this thing you don't understand because it's so amazing, and it's almost impossible to impart that knowledge onto someone else other than be my friend.
Oh,
watch JoJo.
Yeah, but there's also crazy stuff. So as we're going through power levels, there's also different type of stands.
Yeah, they're not all just people.
Yeah, so his main stand, it's like super fast, super strong, but very close range. It's like what 5 meters, I think they always keep saying.
5 meters is still like 15 feet.
Yeah. But that's like pretty close. But they have long range stands that are like somewhat explained, but they're like you could be across the ocean.
You also got like remote stands where it's like a very basic if and situation.
Oh yeah.
Where like if thing is near, kill it. If not, go forward.
Yeah. And it's normally
it's really proximity how good the stand, how intelligent the stand is.
Yeah.
To the user.
Normally like the far range ones, they're just like they're stupid. Like you said, like is the tank one in this season?
No, that's part. Talking about with Kira.
Yeah.
I think that's in part 4.
Okay.
The one underwater, I think, is a remote control stand. The giant face that's underwater that eats them.
Yes.
That's underwater. So they're in a submarine crossing. I don't know. Is it the Red Sea? I don't know.
I don't remember. It's location. Location next scene.
Yeah. So they're underwater, and there's just a giant face. That's the stand. I think, and then they kill it. They're in the thing's mouth, and then Star Platinum punches out all of the teeth. So it's always the gonna die. So he's currently getting chomped by the teeth. Currently trying to hold it up, and he can't hold it up. He's getting crushed. And then for whatever reason, he just like has the power to completely demolish the thing, and he breaks out like all of his teeth.
Right, yeah.
So. I mean, that's how it is. That's how it always is. Like, they're always going to die until they completely destroy it.
It's tension, dude.
But it's never like they barely win. It's like that dude died so fucking hard.
I don't remember this guy. Who? For the tower?
I don't even. Let me see.
Devo the Curse? Devil?
Is that the Mirror Man?
Is that who it is?
Is it the dude that he fights people in mirrors?
Interesting.
So he fights your reflection.
Interesting.
So if like there's like a puddle, he can fight you.
Seems like a movie we just watched.
Yeah, exactly that actually. That's exactly how it was.
Yeah.
But like you're like in a city and like there's like hubcaps and shit.
Oh,
He's like it's just everywhere. He might jump around. I don't know how it actually fucking works.
You confused?
How about we do it like what's your favorite part of part 3?
I'm looking right now. There's so much just like dumb stuff that happened this season. Like this season also is where the Egyptian gods came in.
Yeah, that's it. So after 24, they switch from the tarot cards to the Egyptian.
I think my favorite like episode is the one with the sightseer, the boy and the brother.
Cartoons.
Yeah,
he draws manga.
So yeah, he literally his stand draws out a manga of the next hour.
Okay.
And it basically tells you exactly what's going to happen. It's like 100% will come true. And his brother is just another strong
He has
fan.
His face is just putty. He can make his face into anybody's face.
Oh, okay.
So basically, the stand tells him, in this part, he's going to be in like the car, and he's going to blow up from a grenade. So he changes his face to look like Dio. He goes into the car, puts the grenade. As he's about to leave, the other 2 members show up and they're like, "Oh, Jojo, we're gonna see you, and we're gonna go to the hospital to go see one of the other guys."
Cujo. It's not Cujo. It's red hair guy.
Yeah.
Real fun.
Yeah. So they went to go see him, and he's riding in the car, and like he's worried, like, "Oh no, my face! I gotta get rid of this grenade." And he throws the grenade out, and it like bounces. He's like, "I'm safe," and it like I think it bounces into the dog, and the dog like throws it back for some reason, and then he blows up.
It's also in an orange.
Yeah.
So they're like, ask him, like, hand me an orange. I want to eat an orange, because he made it set up where he's like, when he eats the orange, he's gonna blow up. And everyone's like, you got these pile of oranges back here.
Yeah.
You don't want this orange. You don't want this orange. Like, why aren't you peeling your orange? It's like, I gotta get rid of this orange. Then he blows up.
Yeah, there's like 2 parts to that, because there's that one, and I don't remember what happened in the first half of that, because it happened twice.
Oh, well, they also do with Hall Horse, where he steals the kid.
That's what it is.
Another guy, his stand is just a goddamn gun. Yeah. I don't even know if it's special. It's just a gun. I don't even. It's a tarot card, I believe.
Is it?
I don't know what tarot card it is. It's just a gun. It's like a magical gun.
Hell yeah.
So he takes this kid and he's like, I need you to help me. And he just falls on his face. It's pretty ridiculous. Because he has, like, the kid's like, he doesn't believe the kid at first. Because the kid's, like, telling him to do, like, ridiculous shit. He's like, you got to shove your fingers into Gene's nose. And then you'll somehow escape the situation because you putting your fingers in Gene's nose will make the chain reaction where the spoon will fall and the spoon will fall and the bird will fly and this will make the car weave into you and then killing him.
And he's like, nah, that's
not going to happen. And then he gets in the situation where I put my fingers in his nose. And he does it. He's like, holy shit, it worked exactly. I have to do exactly what this kid says. This kid tells me to run down the street.
I run down the street.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going to run down the street. The kid tells me that I have to shoot 5 times into the culinary line that these people are working on, and that will somehow weave itself all around, and I have to do it exactly at 12 o'clock. If I don't do it at 12 o'clock, I'll miss, because if I do it at 12 o'clock, Olaf's head will be right fucking here, and I'll blast his head off, and then I find out that the clock is 5 minutes fast on my watch, and then the clock up on the tower is actually correct, and I did it early, and I fucked it up.
Mm-hmm.
Joyous.
Yeah.
That was brilliant.
That's a pretty nice
He did the whole episode.
Mine's brilliant. That's not how it was. My favorite part is the ending, if we're going to spoil it all. So, Dio's power, the world, he can stop time.
Yeah.
Pretty unbeatable, right?
You would think so.
So the way that they beat him is, so Star Platinum and Dio Standard look similar. So this means that Star Platinum obviously has the same powers. That's literally how they explain it. They're the same type of stand. So
because they're both close range. They both literally are 1 for 1.
Yeah.
That's it.
And that's it. I mean, they just look similar.
Yeah.
And then he's like, because like Dio like freezes him. He's like, I'm just gonna kill him now. I sucked the blood out of his grandfather. And they're doing. He's like, why is his favorite pitching? He's supposed to be. So he gets freaked out. He monologues for like supposed to be like 30 seconds, but it's actually like a 5-minute monologue in his head. And then he does it again. He's like, did you move? Were you Kaja? He's like, I don't know. And then he gets, and then they fight for a minute, freezes time again, and then he finds out he can actually freeze time, and then I think he just freaks out and then like dies, and then I
think he just gets overly pissed, and then he gets frozen, and then gets his ass beat.
and then the sun, because the thing is he's a vampire.
Yeah.
So when the sun comes up, he dies.
Oh, okay.
So like I think it was on a bridge.
Yeah.
And,
basically, they couldn't kill each other, so Jojo was just stalling time until the sun came up.
So this is Demon Slayer.
But yeah, basically.
Vampire.
But
Abraham Lincoln Vampire.
in the process of all that, Joseph dies. But you know, did his ghost come out of his body? Every time anyone dies in the show, you see their ghost for like a monologue for like fucking 5 minutes.
It's basically the goodbye sentence to their character. You're like, oh,
it's the Shakespearean monologue. I'm dying.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I live long enough to spit out this dialogue.
Yep.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
It gets worse with time. Like part 5, like this dude is straight up maybe dying. Like, spoilers for like
6 episodes.
Like 20 episodes actually. It's like actually like 20 episodes.
Oh boy.
I don't think Joseph got that. And then he somehow takes Dio's half fucking. I think he just blows up. Because I think he somehow blows up. He blows up on the bridge. He like drops a car on him. Okay. So he's got like, it's like Dio's half his body. It's like his legs. And like they're taken away in the ambulance, and like, you know, Joseph's shriveled up in the corner.
Yeah.
And he's like he's dead as hell. He's like, I need you to put all of Dio's blood into my grandfather. And after they start pumping it in,
he becomes alive.
And then he starts acting like Dio, which almost gets his ass beat. He's like, hold up, I was just fucking with you because I thought it would be funny. And then they take him out to like the middle of the desert, and then one day and they undo his body back, and he turns into dust.
Yeah, Dio.
Yeah, Dio. And there's a whole lot more else in that. That's kind of crazy.
Of course it is. This is JoJo.
There's one other episode. I think it's episode like 3 or 4 of. Is it 6? It's 6
of part 5, part 3, 20, part
Stone
80.
Ocean.
Stone Ocean?
Oh wait, not Stone Ocean.
Stone Ocean's like 4, isn't it?
Right.
Stone Ocean's the newest one. That's part 6.
Oh, Stone Ocean.
It's the newest one.
It's the one where
What's 4?
they're in the water.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Where they're either in the water or on an island, and they get saved by the ship.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. That was also crazy.
So this is also the first stand that, because stands can only be seen by other stand users.
Yeah.
This is the first stand everyone can see.
Oh.
For whatever reason.
Because there's like random people on the boat. There's the girl that they picked up, the young girl that's been following them the whole time.
I don't even know why she was like.
I thought she was going to become
like irrelevant to the plot, correct?
Pretty much. She was just there to be saved.
She was with them for like fucking 10 episodes.
Yeah, she was there for a while, and then she came back, and then she disappeared. And she came back. I thought she was going to be like a love interest, like next season, like when they 10 years in the future.
I thought she was going to have to stay.
But that too. But either way, so they get picked up because they're like stranded by this boat. It's like just a big freight ship, basically.
Okay.
You know, they're all worried about fucking stands, and they're looking at all the people there. No one has.
This is also a ghost boat. There's nobody on this boat.
No, there's people.
There's no one on the boat.
I thought there was a crew.
They were on a boat before. Those are the crew from before.
That's what it was. Yes, they all got
ghost
picked
ship.
up.
It's a ghost ship. There's no one on the boat except.
I've seen that movie.
Except what was it?
It was an orangutan in a cage.
Oh, that's what it was.
There was an orangutan
I remember,
in a cage.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is before any animal has any stand.
Okay.
So they're just like, okay, just random orangutan, don't piss it off. You know, we'll just.
It's in a cage. It's also giving this weird girl like weird looks.
Dude,
it's
it's like
actually really like I'm like, what's this orangutan gonna do? It's weird.
That's like probably the only part you're like,
what the fuck is this?
It's a monkey, so who cares?
Orangutan.
No tang.
But
anyway, so they're on the ship, blah blah blah. They're just sailing, and then they start to disappear. Isn't that what happened? Like they start to be captured.
Yeah, I mean they just it all happens like at once.
Yeah.
Because like there's a orangutan, she's like, don't give me weird looks. She goes like around the corner, and that's when it all starts blowing up.
Yeah, and all the guys are starting to disappear, and like, oh shit, there's a stand user here, and this like the only thing's the monkey. So they go to fight the monkey, and he's like running through the walls.
He also at one point puts on a captain's outfit, I believe.
It's a dope ass orangutan. Do you guys remember Tang?
Tang Clan?
No, like
the soda, or like the drink.
The drink.
I remember.
Oh,
that had an orangutan on the
front? Yes.
Okay, sorry. That was.
I thought there was like a TV show or a movie I didn't see. I was like, what are you talking about?
Like the drink Tang. Yeah, the orangutan. And it's talking about Tang. That's what I'm referring to. But sorry. This is
But yeah, so they're just trying to figure out what the issue. Like the monkey's just running through walls. And like it's solid objects to them. They're freaking out, and they figure out they're like, maybe the stand is the whole ship
controlled by the monkey. The monkey has the entire cargo ship is his stand.
It's huge, and it makes no goddamn sense.
Yeah, and he can phase in and out of walls, and I think he like. It's a pretty lame way he dies. I think they shoot the monkey in the head, and then like he might shoot. Someone uses his super long fingers. Sharp Platinum also has the power of making his fingers like 15 inches long. At least there's these two fingers, which I guess are the
two important ones.
The two important fingers. But
to stick up the nose.
Yeah. I think he uses like pokes someone in the eye too.
Okay.
But I think he like
someone tell me because I forgot.
Yeah, he shot the monkey in the head, and then I remember the monkey was freaking out, and it just dies. I think it just like legit dies.
It just ends, and I don't remember the boat just.
I think it turns into like a pontoon.
Yeah.
It turns into like a small dinghy. And I think then they go to the island with that motherfucker.
Yep. And then it just continues on from there.
Yeah, because he was at the house, and then before that he had Fishman. I don't even remember where he went after. I think they went to Singapore actually.
All I know is they just kept traveling around to basically find Dio, isn't it? To kill him.
They knew he was in Egypt, but they couldn't just fly to Egypt for some reason.
So they had to take the long way around.
They flew there on a plane.
They basically did like how was it, around the world in 30 days or whatever. Yeah.
Like,
but now imagine that in like 10.
It was like a month.
It took a while.
It took like a month for them to get there.
Because they got stopped at every fucking moment.
Really unlinear storytelling we're doing here. Back to the mom. The reason why they're trying to kill Dio is because if they kill Dio, that will somehow save the mom. Because she's dying from her getting a stand. Mm-hmm. Dio might have awakened all the stands. Because Dio, I mean, kind of a spoiler, Dio in part 1,
Yeah.
gets his body chopped off.
Yeah.
So he's just a head. And he's like, the only worthy heir is Jonathan. I have to take Jonathan's body. And then Jonathan, in defeating Dio, dies.
Okay.
Seeking the ship. Dio, somehow underwater in a casket, steals Jonathan's body. So Jonathan's body is on Dio.
Okay.
So that's the whole thing, is Dio's trying to regain all his powers and heal fully from doing that.
Okay.
And
he just basically makes everyone have stands.
yeah, he gives everybody. He has IKEA. I mean, well, you know, has stand arrow because everybody stands.
Yeah.
But I don't even remember what the fuck I was.
We were not talking why they were fighting.
Oh, so there's a deadline.
Yeah.
We have to kill Dio within like 40 days or some shit.
Otherwise, the mother dies.
Or else the mother's die. Because they somehow, and they got like the Speedwagon Foundation's there, and they're like their top scientists, and like they're also trying to like subvert like Joseph's wife to actually going there. That's a whole subplot. So he's like on a submarine talking to his wife. He's like, I'm in a hotel. Business is crazy in the real estate industry.
I think this season is the most over the top of all the seasons.
I don't know about that.
Because because this season was like, most of them are like 2-part episodes.
Yeah.
It's like shit goes down, new bad guy, we learn his powers, they get beat, or it's a close combat.
Shit's resolved.
The next episode's the same, and then it's just like, just a new background.
That's a formula.
Yeah. And then, I said later on, I don't feel like it's that as much.
I don't know if that makes. I feel like part 5 is probably the most batshit thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It's like actually like the ending of part 5. I've looked it up. I watched videos on it. Yeah. I have no idea what the fuck actually happened. It is actually like the most insane shit I've ever read in my entire life or saw. I should say.
We'll talk about that one.
Like part 3's ending is like they defeat.
It's
Dio
because
he has the same power as Dio.
Yeah.
Use that to survive long enough. And I just remember like Dio like freaked out. Fucking blew the fuck up something.
It's like playing poker and you basically have the same hands, but you bluff him so hard that you win.
They also played poker a lot in that season. There was a lot of gambling. It's also weird because like weird censorship laws in Japan. So like Jotaro smokes for some of it.
Yeah.
And they can't show a minor smoking. So his entire face is just black.
I don't remember that.
He was smoking, and his entire face is black, which they kind of made it look like a shadow from his hat. His hat also somehow seamlessly phases into his head.
Okay. If you look at it, it's like hat hair.
Yeah, and it's
just like a visor.
Well, no, because in different art styles, it gets blown off, but and also in different art styles, because each season has a different art style.
Yeah.
He's one of the only. Well, him and Joseph are seen in multiple seasons.
Yeah.
And it's just like I still have no idea how his hat. It's like one season he wears a white hat.
Yeah.
And his white hat slowly transitions into black
hair. It's amazing.
And then he's shown briefly in part 5.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's also in part 6.
He's in part 6 with a dope ass outfit. Was he? Because I remember seeing the figure for it. And I'm like, that's
like purple and red.
Yeah. I think that's my favorite of his outfits. So far.
Dude, I feel like this is just like
random.
nonsensical shit.
It's
Jojo.
I
can't even.
The only people that are gonna watch this are other people that watch Jojo.
I just feel like I don't even know. I guess I would have to like. They should actually explain this.
Like I told you before, man. It's the thing that you can't really completely come to understand until you experience.
See,
it.
The crazier part is when we do the next episode. And we get into 4 and 5.
4 and 5 is completely ridiculous.
It's going to be us explaining crazy shit.
Part 5 is completely just. That's my favorite one so far. Part 4 is. That's for a different episode.
Okay.
If you wanted to rate 1, 2, and 3,
one's decent.
I think 1 is a fun.
It's really fun
drama.
It sets up everything.
Yeah.
You know, you could see the lineage from all the way. Right, this is where it all starts.
Yeah,
that's really nice because I mean it's still pretty like the whole Haman. It just does goddamn anything and everything, even without a stand. Or like I don't even. It's just it's actually Demon Slayer. It's just the power of breathing. But Demon Slayers do that.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of different things that involve
I'd argue
breathing.
that most,
yeah.
I mean, that's probably in a lot of.
There's nothing new anymore.
Also, I think the first John Derry was in Jojo from part 4. That's also a different thing, which is
interesting
weird to think about.
We'll talk about that one later. It's I forgot about it.
Yeah, that was a weird thing.
I would say 1 and 2, fun. 3 is when it just goes batshit.
3 is my favorite on all
of
1 and 2.
3.
It's 3. 3 is Stardust Crusaders.
I agree with that because I feel like you're starting to actually get into JoJo.
Yeah, it's the meat.
Yeah, 1 and 2 you're like learned.
Yeah, you're getting
and then 3 you're like.
3 is also really interesting because that's the first one that has stance.
I have achieved enlightenment. That's what 3 is basically.
Yeah.
And I also feel like this show is a show where you have to watch. Everything.
Yeah, you have to watch it.
It's not one of those shows you can be like, season 13? I'm just going to pick up right in the middle.
Like I said, like when you say you can explain like a spoiler from a random thing, but without the context, it doesn't tell you anything about what the show is. Yeah. Unless you saw everything and then you're like, okay.
Yeah, I think
I can kind of piece this
together. Spoiled in part 5. I really didn't even realize what was happening until it happened.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's how that all fits together. Like, I've heard some crazy shit. I can't tell if people are making it up or if it's actually true.
That's the brilliance of what this series is.
Like I'm like, how do those rascals find themselves in that situation?
Imagine how crazy. Like we're just spewing shit out right now. This is just and then Eddie's here, and he's just like, "What?"
Dude, I can't even explain to you. Like I would have to like rewatch it while like on like Adderall and speed, while like simultaneously writing down what's happening.
It's like the good old days when I used to like write down for reviews and like physically write shit.
Yeah, I would have to like do bullet points like this happens, this relates to that because of this.
Yeah.
But I would have to like look at it'd be like sticky notes on the walls with like red string everywhere. It'd be like fucking conspiracy shit.
I will say, everyone should watch Jojo.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see a reason why you shouldn't at all.
Like I said, I'm not a very what's it called? What would you put this under? Like genre?
I don't know. It's in Shonen Jump, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a shonen. I don't really watch shonens much.
Yeah.
But I'd put this up there as like one of the best of all time.
That's the best way I could think of it. This is on Shonen Jump. I don't know.
It's Jojo.
Yeah, it's Jojo. Watch it.
Watch it.
It's brilliance.
Watch every season.
Hopefully we can get like a more concise thing.
I think next episode will be more concise. We'll have also another JoJo.
Next time it's just gonna be me sitting here and it's gonna be 3 of you just saying crazy
Has he
shit.
read the manga?
Michael?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to ask him.
Because if he might be able to actually
understand it.
At least remember. I mean, part 1 is so long. That's also.
I think that was our issue. Is
like if I only knew I thought we were gonna.
Which makes sense. Yeah, I forgot. I wanted to split it up.
Right. Yeah, watch it.
Watch JoJo. Muda Muda.
It's great. Thank you for listening. If you listen to all this craziness so far.
If you're a JoJo fan, we will talk about JoJo more. And maybe one day we'll have JoJo stickers and tarot cards and dildos.
JoJo dildos? How hard is it to make a dildo?
I don't know. Do you have a 3D printer?
Won't be a good one. It'd be real hard.
Just what you want.
It's called
sandpaper. I hope it would cheap out and fall on the side. Halfway through, that'd be awful. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
Anyway.